And we are live, guys. Welcome. This is Signature Moves presents live and in person AEW's head referee, Mr. Bryce Remsburg. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you, gentlemen? Thanks for having me on this Monday evening in the UK.
Monday. It is Monday. Do you know what? For the first time, Dan, we've got the UK and US times correct.
I know.
Well, I am also the travel manager for AEW, so I had a acute awareness of the local times before and during All In a few weeks ago.
Well, you've done better than us because we had a signing with Sabu the other week and we were out by about 7 hours. So,
jeez.
Yeah. Only Sabu would live in
It's 12:07 p.m. here. The kids are at school. My wife's upstairs working. This is a lovely way to spend a Monday afternoon.
I tell you, isn't it just, eh? And Dan, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. If Dan mutes himself, he's having a bit of a coughing fit. Asper is not your best friend today, is it?
Not at the moment. Just coming back from Turkey. It just wiped me out a little bit.
Oh yeah, throw that one in. He's been on holiday, Bryce. Been to Turkey, hasn't he?
Need some Lucozade.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't touch that. He likes his blackcurrant. He's like a big toddler, Dan.
Okay. Where in the UK are you, gentlemen?
So I'm based in Nottingham, which is the Midlands.
Okay.
Big Dan is up near Newcastle in a place called Bishop Auckland.
Okay. I went to Newcastle with Chikara once.
Did you go to that one, Dan?
I didn't know. I wasn't up here at that time. I was down Nottingham with you that time.
Oh, were you still slumming it in Nottingham with me? Sorry.
Is Birmingham the Midlands?
It's West Midlands, yes.
Okay. Chikara did a college or university show at Birmingham once. It was a lot of fun. Maybe it was Manchester. I don't know. It's all run together. It's okay.
There's a bit of a difference between Manchester and Birmingham.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry. It's all blurred. I know we were in Scotland once on a bank holiday on a Monday afternoon in Scotland, and we did Glasgow, and it was the crowd had been well lubricated for our 4 p.m. show, and it was quite a rollicking affair.
It's like the Scots; they like to get pissed.
Messing around. They tried giving me Iron Brew, but I thought it was cough syrup.
Oh no! Raw Iron Brew is lovely.
Oh boy!
Go easy on the Iron Brew.
No further comment on English and Scottish beverages. Then I don't know.
No. You can slate everything else. It's fine. You can say everything else tastes like shit. It's not a problem. Have you tried Guinness?
Yeah, I actually have tried Guinness. It's not my favorite. I would have, if I went to Ireland. I've never been to Ireland, but if I was there, I would have a ceremonial pint. But it's not my favorite. I like more sweeter, milder cider type stuff.
Oh no, you're a cider guy.
Sorry. In moderation.
So is him.
Too much cider, too sweet gives me crazy headaches. But I'm also getting old and I can't drink like I used to. So
I'm probably the oldest one here. I can still have my lager and beer. So
I'm 68. Are you over 68?
Say again.
I'm 68 years old, so I don't know if that matters.
You're 68 years old.
I'm 68.
Yeah, and I'm the Queen of bloody England.
Oh, cool.
What's your favorite tipple? What's your favorite drink?
I like a good like a vodka cranberry. That's not exciting, but I do like a good vodka cranberry. And then in the pandemic days, when we were basically living in Jacksonville for a year, the real fad drink was White Claw. Then so drink a lot of White Claw back in those days, but not so much anymore. It's early to bed. I have 2 kids and we travel a lot, so sleep is a real win. So I often will take that over drinking. Sorry, I know that's a lame answer.
No, not at all. No, far from it. Dan, what's your favorite drink apart from Ribena?
Almond sours.
Almond sours.
Yeah.
All
right.
What is that?
That sounds like candy.
Yeah, it's almond liqueur, lemon juice, orange juice, and ice. That's all it is.
All right. I'd try that. I'd give that a shot.
Why not?
All right.
Almond sours. Is it like a bottle? Is it a bottle then, or is it like?
No, it's full-on cocktail.
Oh, oh, okay. Cocktail man. Tell his wife up. Anyway, guys, right, we could talk about this all night, in fairness, and we will talk snacks as well, because I know Bryce he's a snack guy. So we're going to go into photo number 1. All right, and again, guys, if you've already pre-ordered, thank you very much. If you haven't, you can contact Big Dan, and we can get you involved in the live during this hour. Okay. So if you want to get photo number 2 out, because number
2,
yeah,
this handsome guy right here.
That handsome fella right there.
That's my pensive. I'm thinking about snacks here, probably. Actually,
is it? Thinking about whether to try Guinness one more time and give it a real go. Okay, so the first one we're going to go with, and it pains me to say this. This is for Stu, and that's STU, and he would like top ref, and then your autograph, please.
Is Stu the top ref? Because I am not the top ref, but I will write it if that is Stu's one. I will do that. Top ref. Okay,
so
no problem.
Stu would like to pop on at some point and ask a question.
Please, I'm putting top ref in quotes, but I will do that.
That's absolutely fine. So Stu is a referee up in Scotland.
Oh wow!
There's
Stu. Boom, nailed it.
Awesome. Okay, the next one is for Dan.
Dan, I can spell that. Big Dan.
Yeah, and he would like to Dan the man, and then AEW All In 2023.
All
and
right.
Your autograph, please.
What was All In? Was that a wrestling show? I must have missed that.
You must have missed it. You were too busy taking Canadian destroyers.
All a blur. I must have been concussed. It's all a blur.
By the way, well, bravo on taking that on that Panama Sunrise. Jesus Christ!
It was a special occasion. Probably never again. So I'm glad it exists on video.
Did they cut? That's awesome. The next one is for Sarah, and she would just like to Sarah, and then AEW All In 2023. And your autograph, please.
Of course. Is it Sarah with an H at the end? Do we know?
Yeah, SARAH.
Wonderful. Yeah, I figure. 81,000 people, main event, go big or go home. If there ever was a day to take a Panama Sunrise, that was the day to do it.
Was that Adam Cole's conversation to you prior to that, or? Did you suggest that?
It was not my idea, but it was a collaboration, I will say.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull back the curtain too far. Here's Sarah's. We're all set. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the support. I'm hoping these people that are asking me to write All In were there. I hope some. I imagine there's 81,000 people by the law of wrestling fans and math. Some of these folks watching and listening here are probably there at some point.
Hopefully. I would say.
Hopefully we'll see him next August as well.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah,
you will indeed. I was there. Big Dan wasn't. We had a train strike on the weekend.
I heard about the train strike. The travel manager of AEW also heard all about the train strike. That was a very exciting, just a fun little curveball we got thrown our way there before we all had to get there, but we figured it out.
So Big Dan missed it. I was able to be there to watch. And I would probably say 95% of the people that are watching now were there. We've got a few overseas fans as well, but they didn't travel.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, people outside the hotel was wild. There were people from all over Europe and Belgium, Norway, places you don't even think of wrestling, and they all came to London. It was a for those purposes of having one centralized super show. It seemed like a success.
What was it like for you guys hearing about the amount of tickets you'd sold based on the fact you'd not actually announced a match?
It was wild because the internal expectations were 40, maybe 50,000 would be a real success, and then it just kept climbing. And then when it was climbing to 75, 80,000, I was like, oh, we better have a good show, huh, guys? And there was a lot of pressure to deliver, which I do feel like we did. But it was just I walked into the stadium on Saturday night just to kind of see the layout, and it like it's cliche, but it literally took my breath away.
Yeah,
seeing the ring in the middle of that. I went up to like the balcony where the Eddie and Claudio were fighting during the Stadium Stampede, looking down on the ring and looking at all the seats, and then like hearing the like echoing up, there's kind of a delay in the noise, especially when the roof is open. And there was one point before at the beginning when Adam Cole's coming out, I looked up on the big screen, I saw there were fireworks going off in the stadium, but I couldn't see them because they were like above me and out of the stadium, which was a sensation I've never had before. So up to that point, most people we had 20,000 people in New York City for an AEW event a couple years ago. My dad was actually there for that. That was the first Grand Slam. And this quadrupled that. And I am very happy to press on and referee more matches. But as I told Max and Adam after the match, this is, if I'm done after today, if I never referee another match or never work another show for the rest of my life, I feel like I did it. I feel like I accomplished it because it was, a career and life and everything highlight. It's, it was wedding day, kids being born, all in right below
it. See, I'd have just gone all in, kids.
Yeah.
No, it was a great show. It really was. It was a phenomenal show, and I think everyone, the general consensus afterwards was how good. I don't think people really knew what to expect in certain parts of the show. And when they were I was sat next to a guy who's a friend of mine. He'd never seen Will Ospreay wrestle.
Oh wow!
So to watch Ospreay wrestle, obviously against Jericho, it blew his mind because he'd never seen anything like that. And I think that opened a lot of people's eyes because obviously we're used to Will being over here, and obviously he's in Japan and stuff like that. But again, it just drew more eyes on the products, which for next year I think will be a complete sellout.
No pressure.
None. So
I'm excited for next year, but I'm also excited to see what we can do in other parts of the UK and Europe. I'd love to go to Dublin, love to go to Glasgow. I'd love to, I've been to Germany before. I'd love to go back. All kinds of areas that now that we've checked this box, I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a career highlight for you, then that was at the top. What was your previous career highlight before All In?
I think the debut episode of Dynamite, which was my dad and my sister were watching me on TV, and all my friends from college went to a bar together where we used to hang out, and they made them turn Dynamite on. And they all made, they watched me on TV. That's just
that's cool.
Growing up in my era of wrestling, which is the early 90s, television is the vessel for wrestling. It's not streaming. It would be renting videotapes and watching wrestling on TV. It was waking up on Saturday morning to watch Wrestling Challenge, waking up on Sunday morning to watch Superstars, staying up on Monday to watch Primetime Wrestling. So the fact that my friends and my family could watch me referee on a channel that everyone has TNT in the US. It's not this abstract. It's not like ESPN, the Ocho, or whatever. It is like everyone has TNT, everyone has TBS. Every hotel in the world has TNT and TBS. They could just turn it on and watch me referee on television. That was crazy. And the fact that it happens every week is still crazy. But under All In, it was probably that for sure.
That's awesome.
1.4 million people watched the first Dynamite or whatever. It was in an arena where I used to, the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. is where the 1997 Starrcade was held when I was 14. My dad took me to Starrcade there to see Sting wrestle Hulk Hogan, and I was in the very top row of the arena. And when I came back for the first Dynamite, I was inside the ring, and it's crazy. There aren't entirely the words. I'm struggling to find them now, but
it's quite a nice full circle moment for yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the 17 years on the indies and the 30 years of being a wrestling fan made me appreciate what I was getting.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Dan, we're going to go over to some questions. We've got loads coming in.
Yeah, no worries. So this one's from Adam Ashley. So who was your favorite referee growing up?
Oh, I was hi Adam. Thanks for the question. I was always a fan of Tommy Young and Charles Robinson, guys that used to give it back a little bit too. Tommy Young used to shove Ric Flair back a little bit, and there was a guy who used to referee for first Smoky Mountain Wrestling and then WCW named Mark Curtis. He did a lot of the cruiserweight matches, kind of a skinny, wiry guy from we used to ref on Nitro. I used to like how he would be a little bit animated. He would get involved with the action a little bit. Those were always my favorites. Thank you for the question, Adam.
Next one is from Daniel Smith. So what was it like refereeing the main event for AEW All In?
Daniel, when I find the words, I'll let you know, but it's been a couple weeks now and I still don't have them. I have to see the footage and the pictures to make sure that it really happened. It was just, a very, 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 very emotional day, both the day and the night. And I didn't want to go to bed that night because I didn't want the day to end. But I also had to fly back to the U.S. and see my family, so I did. Yeah. But I could struggle for the rest of this hour to find the words, and I won't find them. So, but it's indescribable. How about that?
Good answer. Very good answer. We're going to move on to picture number 2, Bryce. Okay with you, sir?
Yes, sir. That would be. Oh, I know these guys. These guys here.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the invisible Stan.
Well,
you got his good angle. Angle. He's back.
I really want those glasses. They're great.
I think I donated them to something. I don't think I have those anymore. I may have retired Bad Boy Vision. I don't think I have them. I think I gave those glasses to a charity event or something. I don't know. It's okay.
That's awesome.
That is actually one of the questions. What was it like refereeing that match?
Yeah,
it was. I told my wife that to make sure they show that match at my funeral because I think it's going to be my legacy. That's my finest hour, my magnum opus. But the real trick of that was truly the crowd, and that was GCW and Joey Janela making sure that everyone is following along with this storyline and believing that two invisible men could wrestle each other. Yeah. Because if they were not reacting to anything, that would have been a long 8 or 10 minutes for Bryce. So the fact that they were engaged and chanting along and reacting and suspending their disbelief along with me made that all possible. Well, I do find it. I often do think about that. They announced that match that was going to happen, and then they asked me to referee it, and I was wondering, what was the backup plan? I would have gone the other way around to that, but I had 2 or 3 weeks to kind of formulate some ideas, and I remember bouncing some ideas off some trusted comedic wrestling brains, which were specifically Orange Cassidy and Ethan Page were there that day, I remember. Yeah. I also remember going to the back after it was over, and the next match on that show was Orange Cassidy versus Taka Michinoku, which is also a very strange spring break match. Wow. And Orange Cassidy kind of said to me, he's like, how are we going to follow that, man? And I was just, sorry, dude.
What was your initial reaction?
What's that?
I said, what was your initial reaction when they asked you to do that match? Was it like, did you think it was a rib or?
No, I was actually excited about it because I like, especially back on the indies, there's so many different flavors of things, I'm very proud to try to have the most eclectic referee resume in the world. That means refereeing in all kinds of different states, all kinds of different locations, all kinds of different countries, refereeing for, men, women, small people, whatever they're, what I mean? Like invisible people, 60-minute Ironman matches, 17-man tag team matches, whatever that, I try to do like something of everything. Castle match, ladder matches, battle royals, whatever. Like I am very proud of having what I believe to be one of the most eclectic pro wrestling referee resumes, and in AEW, which I love and it's great, but it's a little more straightforward. So back on the indies, I got to, that was one of the last like truly weird things I got to do before I signed with AEW. So I am forever proud of that.
That's awesome. Very an obscure and crazy CV, I guess, as we would have in England.
A moment in time, and as much as it blows my mind, everywhere I go, people know about the Invisible Men. They say, we're at AEW shows in California, and people are yelling it out to me. Outside the hotel in London a couple weeks ago, people were asking me about the Invisible Men. So it is. I am not going to stray away from the fact that that's going to be kind of part of my legacy, I think. So hopefully, one of the greatest compliments of it is all people will say, I showed this match to my friends who don't like wrestling, or I showed this match to my friends who don't understand wrestling or have never seen wrestling before. And this kind of like, even they enjoyed that. And that is, a real that is about the highest compliment I can receive. That someone that has a preconceived notion or turns their nose up against pro wrestling can watch something like that and be like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is some kind of bizarre alternate theater. But sure, if you like it, you like it.
It worked. What matches out there that you haven't done are there that you'd like to do? Like obscure matches. So if you said, "Oh, we do like if you remember the hog pen match."
Oh yeah, I've never known. I was actually there for the hog pen match. I was 12 years
really?
old. Yeah, I was at the hog pen match in Hershey.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, in your house. I that would be one. The triple cage match that WCW had, like the uncensored cage match,
Yeah.
I've done blood and guts. I've been inside cages. I don't know. I Falls Can Anywhere matches. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the hog pen match. I like that answer, actually.
Yeah. No, fair play. Right. Let's get some pictures signed.
All right, let's do it.
We're all good at talking, so that's cool. Right. So the first one is for Dan. He would just like to Dan, and then any kind of inscription of your choice and your autograph.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. All right, I put some advice there for Dan. It says, eat your veggies. Take that with you, Dan. Dewey will with that donation.
I was going to say, knowing Dan, I don't think he'll ever touch a veggie in his life, but yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good advice.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Okay. The next one is for Jack, and he would just like your autograph. No personalization.
JACK? Or just not even write his name?
Yeah, just your autograph, please.
You got it, man. There you are, Jack. That's for you, bud.
Awesome. The next one is for Paul, and he would like to Paul, and then any inscription of your choice, and then your autograph.
No problem, Paul.
And then we will go up to the comment section.
Paul, wear your seatbelt. There's some more advice for Paul.
Paul couldn't fit in the car, let alone wear a seatbelt.
It's for him to figure out.
He's like the size of Andre the Giant, is Paul.
Okay. Wow, jeez.
Yeah, he's
sing levels here.
He's a big guy. He's a big dude. Right, Dan, we'll go into some questions if that's okay, please.
So Bryce is an incredibly well-spoken guy. Have you ever considered wrestling, managing, or otherwise doing any promos?
Well, that's very nice of you to say, John. I do not want to be a wrestler because I am fragile. My body is fragile, and I do not want to. And I would not make a good wrestler. But I have. I was an authority figure in Chikara. I was the director of fun, so I had to give these like speeches at the beginning and sometimes, which I enjoyed that. And then one time, I had to do like a promo on Dynamite. And it wasn't live. It was a tape show, but there was no fans because it was kind of pandemic years, but it was like a thing about Eddie Kingston. And I remember being very, very, very nervous because I talk all the time. I talk all day. I talk to everybody, but talking in a microphone on national TV was this whole new thing. And even though there was like a safety net, if it got messed up, we'd redo it because it was a tape show and there are no fans. Still, I recall being exceptionally nervous about that. And actually, the person I ran that off of to make sense was Brody Lee, the late great Brody Lee. One of the last times I spoke to him, he helped me kind of formalize my thoughts and put them together. And I was excited how that turned out.
Yeah. What was he like backstage? Because when we've spoken to like Evil Uno and John,
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Had nothing. What were you doing there?
Brody was the best. He was it's crazy because I knew him twice. I knew him first on the Independents in like 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then he got signed in 2012. And I refereed his last match on the Independents. It was a match against Eddie Kingston in Ottawa, Canada. It was a great match. And then we kind of like we're still friendly but lost touch because that's how life goes. And then he got signed with AEW and we came back into each other's lives. And before, we would talk about wrestling, and now this time that we reconnected 8 years later, talking about our wives and our kids. He has 2 sons that are about the same age distance apart. I have 2 sons about the same age distance apart. I still see Brody Nolan all the time. I talk to Amanda. She works with us. I see her every single week. So it's crazy to think that I don't talk to him anymore, or he's not, actually in my life, but I feel like he still is because I still have a good relationship with Amanda and his kids. So
that's cool.
It's just it's it's trivializes it to say, but they took one of the good ones, unfortunately. So I'm so glad selfishly that I did get to reconnect with them and be back in his life toward the end. But just real bummer, man. He was a real good dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've done loads of like Evil Uno and John Silver and guys like that, and they've had nothing but just amazing words.
Speaking of the devil, look who's next.
Oh, it is. It's negative 1.
Yeah, it's a little guy. He's much taller now. He has growth spurted since this was taken. This is the night of the tribute show in Jacksonville. This is right after Big Brody died. That's little Brody in his little suit, and he's probably as tall as I am now, but. He sits in the locker room and curses and burps and farts. He's just one of the boys. But I promised him I would stay in wrestling long enough to referee his first match. So I got at least 6 or 7 more years in me.
That was going to be my next question. Is Brody Lee Jr. Is he going to follow his legacy?
I am completely certain he will. He is a crazy wrestling fanatic. He promised his mom he would finish high school first, so he's going to do that. But he's training on the side, and he loves it. It is just in him. So I have no doubt I will be reffing his first match, and he'll be a foot taller than me in a few years.
Well, I was going to say, because Brody Lee wasn't the shortest guy in the room.
No, he was not, and his mom is not totally tall, but I can just he's got those long legs. He's gonna be a beanpole. I can see it.
That's awesome. That'll be a really cool moment. So we're going to go on to this picture then. So the first person that would like this picture is Harvey, and that's Harvey, and he would just like to Harvey and your autograph, please.
You got it. Booyah for Harvey. There it is, baby. Right over -1's head.
Don't show -1 that.
He's at school right now. Don't worry. I mean, he's supposed to be at school. I can't say I'm not sure he is, but he's meant to be at school right now.
Oh, here we go. Get the gossip. Okay, the next one. Let me just double check on this one, please. Where are we? It's for John. That's JOHN. And he would just like to John and then your autograph, please.
You got it. Chris Jericho's calling me. Should I answer it? No, I'll probably wait.
Yeah. Do it.
No,
Do it.
Here's John.
Do it.
I might have to say something that I shouldn't say in front of everybody. All right, I'll do it.
Go on.
Hello? Hey, I'm well. How are you? I'll call Delta right now. Do you have Claire? I think you might have to come early next week. Is that possible? Or we're still don't know about that for sure from New York. Some media in New York. John Schneider mentioned doing that. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll do this first and I'll get with John. Yep. Thanks, Chris. Easy enough.
Just a casual phone call from the goat. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
No, do not be sorry at all. I've got a phone call coming from my mum, so I might have to
that was travel related, not AEW related. So or not referee related, I should say.
No, my mum wouldn't have a clue what AEW is. She think it's some kind of Alcoholics Anonymous meeting or something.
Oh my goodness! Hopefully not that.
No. Right then, next one is for Gemma. She doesn't want it personalised. She would just like your autograph, please.
Could you spell Gemma for me, please?
She doesn't want it personalised.
Oh, got it. Never mind. Yep.
So good.
Clearly, I wasn't listening. There we go.
No worries.
There's that. There's for Gemma. No problem.
Awesome. The next one is for Dan, but he doesn't want it personalized. He would just like your AEW All In 2023 and your autograph, please.
Crazy that we have to specify that was 2023. In my mind, this was just like one big thing. The fact they're doing it again next year is kind of crazy.
The fact that it was only a couple of weeks ago as well.
I know, right?
Still kind of mind blowing. Which is
49 weeks till the next one.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, right.
Definitely going to be going. So, right, I'm going to move on. We've got loads of questions coming in. So, Big Dan, over to you.
So Daniel Smith asks, what is it like working with MJF and what is he like backstage?
MJF is a unique character because he is there's not a ton of disparity between what you see on television and what you see backstage. He's very sure of himself. He's very opinionated. He sometimes treats his opinions as facts, but I will give him a rare compliment right now. First of all, his pickles are pretty good. His dad sent me some pickles. I think he's trying to butter me up. Pickles aren't bad. But second of all, he is very, very, very passionate about pro wrestling and AEW, and he is a guy that takes his role as the world champion very seriously. He understands that he is, the captain of the ship as a world champion, and the ratings, the attendance, all that kind of rise and fall with him. So he is a student of the game. He's a lunatic, but he's our lunatic. He's a scumbag, but he's our scumbag. So he's not as different as everyone thinks backstage, but I will shout him out and say that he is like he's our lunatic, and we love him. And we're lucky to have him.
So I am a massive fan of Chikara.
That's great. Thank you.
From the very start. So what was it like working in Chikara, and what's it like now working with the lads from Chikara? They've come across you in AEW.
It's fun because we start telling Chikara stories in the locker room sometimes, and people have no idea what we're talking about that weren't there, and we have to stop and explain. There were ants and there were animatronic ice cream cones, and there was all this lore about an eye of tear, and they're just like, what are you talking about? But there is some also moments where you look around, and in Toronto, for example, at Forbidden Door, I was just coming out of the restroom in the bathroom. I looked up and I saw Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, Claudio Castagnoli, and Chris Hero is now one of our coaches. I'm just like, wow, we all probably made some mistakes along the way. We must have done something right to all end up here together in this place. It's wild. It's when we were in Chikara, obviously, it was kind of the land of misfit toys. Nobody really thought that about, big time or national wrestling, and you would never think that even an AEW it didn't even exist, so it wouldn't be possible. It was kind of it's a dream come true. We didn't even know we could dream, and we're all very, very lucky. You can't imagine Orange Cassidy in WWE. It's really hard to even Eddie Kingston. I don't know that we would fit well there. So the fact that AEW exists and has given a home and a steady income to all these wonderful, talented people is a real blessing. Yeah,
massively. If on the subject of MJF, obviously he was the highlight of For the Love of Wrestling 2 years ago. He was just himself, loud, obnoxious, rude. Is there ever a time where you just get Max, or is it just him in general? Not asking you to,
once in a while after a big show, he has a moment of humility, but they're few and far between.
Just back to normal.
Yeah. I do. I am cursed and blessed to referee all of his matches, I think. most of his matches, let's say.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. We're going to move on, please, Bryce, to the next picture.
Let's do it. Hold on.
Which I believe is it yourself and John Moxley, I think? No.
Oh, these are all the refs. This is the crew right here.
All right, this is the crew one. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay. So nobody wants anything personalized.
Got it.
So they just want your autograph either across your body or above your head.
I think above my head is going to be the way to go, so I'll save room for everyone else.
That's absolutely fine.
There's one. Shall I? No personalized. Just how many of these do we?
There are 5.
Okay.
and then obviously we'll
And am I spreading these 5 to everyone else as well?
Yeah, I'll sort that out. Yeah,
You can sort that out later. That's right. All right.
that's
All right,
absolutely fine.
Let me do 5 now. Who are these for? Could I, at least if I don't write it, could I hear these fine folks' names?
Sure. So we've got Anthony.
Anthony, thank you, Anthony.
Yeah. So we've got Simon.
Simon, there's Simon's.
We've got Sarah.
Sarah. This one is Sarah's. Thank you, Sarah.
We've got Daniel and Paul.
Was it Paul Turner? Maybe did he order one of these? I could just give him one. Paul Turner's a good man. He actually lives about 15 minutes from me, which is crazy.
Oh, no way.
I see him at the grocery store sometimes.
Who did I see out the other day?
All right, here's these 5, and we will figure out what happens next to these. But they are all done and dusted and sorted.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that one. Right.
Of course.
Go back to the questions then, Big Dan.
Sure.
This is from Simon Williams. So what training techniques do you do being a referee? I'm always looking to improve and would like to know your drills, techniques that would be beneficial as I do refereeing myself.
Well, thank you for the question, Simon, and good luck to you as a referee. I'd say that the best point of advice that I could give is to just get as much experience as possible. Find yourself in as many shows as possible. Referee practice matches, as many as you can, especially when you're starting out. Experience is your best friend. Watch back your favorite wrestling matches of all time. Watch them once for the wrestling, and then watch them again for just the refereeing. And training-wise, just get your cardio up. I am not a beacon of health or anything, but when I knew that the MJF Bryan Danielson Iron Man match was coming up, I knew a month in advance, so I was doing an hour on the Stairmaster once a week, and I was just every day treadmill, Stairmaster, moving, walking, hiking. Just I can't bench press 300 pounds or anything, but I can go on a 3-hour hike. Just being able to do that and not get tired. I'm in no way the athlete that Bryan Danielson or MJF is, but I didn't want to embarrass myself and not be able to keep up with these guys for 65 minutes. So I was took a lot of pride in that amount of just cardio readiness, I suppose. And you hear this, they talk about wrestling a lot. It's the same thing as refereeing. Refereeing is not as difficult as wrestling. I'm not saying that it is, but it does require a certain amount of stamina. And as you can do hours and hours on treadmills and Stairmasters and bicycles and hikes, whatever, there's no cardio like ring cardio. So that's all well and good. But if you have a training facility that you have a relationship with, I would just ask if you can go on practice match night and just referee as many practice matches as you can. Odds are you're going to find yourself in a situation you've never been in before. And kind of what I was talking about earlier, referee as many different kinds of matches as possible. Tag team matches, trios matches, battle royals, 3-way dances, whatever there is, raise your hand and offer to do those, because that's just going to make your refereeing resume deeper and make yourself more equipped for whatever situations come next.
Good answer. I like that. Dan, next question, please.
Next question is from Stu Brown. So where did you learn to be a referee?
Stuart, thank you for the question. I was an independent wrestling fan, and these 2 guys that I used to love watching by my house were guys that I knew of Reckless Youth and Mike Quackenbush. Neither are still active wrestlers anymore, but they opened up a wrestling school about an hour from me called the Chikara Wrestling Factory, and I was 19 years old. I was a freshman in college, so I was at the perfect cross section of my life where I could go off and do something crazy like this. So I started driving up to Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is an hour from where I was going to school twice a week, over and over. I was really anxious about the kind of people I would find there, because you think of, sometimes wrestlers are like, big jock lunkhead guys, but Chikara was the place that attracted, punk rock dudes and comic book nerds. And I realized that these were my people. And loud New Yorkers named Eddie Kingston, who I met in 2002 at the Chikara Wrestling Factory 21 years ago. Once I got my crew, my people, I was off to the races. And I continued to be a wrestler, but I never, again, I'm fragile. I was afraid to really get involved there. So I did, I was 17 years of independent refereeing, and now I've done 4 years of professional refereeing with AEW for a total of 21 years, which is crazy, actually. This Wednesday, September 13th, was my 21st anniversary.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
My wrestling career can drink alcohol in the United States. Legally, I should say.
Legally. Cool. That sounds good.
Next question. Oh, sorry. You want to go, Simon, Chris? Or?
Yeah, I was going to go. Can we go back to the picture, Bryce, with yourself and -1?
Sure.
If possible. Sorry about that.
Of course. We want another one signed. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, please. If we could
You got
have.
Yep. Hold on.
That's all good. Dan Smith, you're watching the live now. If you could just put in the comment box what you want on the photo, please, that would be great.
So while we wait for that, then I'll ask the next question.
Yeah, cool.
What was it like refereeing the exploding barbed wire death match?
Great till the end. I didn't realize I could see the comments here. I'm sorry. This is great. Again, it was, I was very excited to do it because there'd never been an exploding barbed wire death match on American pay-per-view. And I was excited to be the first one to do it. And I had to have my suit was treated with this anti-flame stuff. And it was a spectacle, and it was different and ridiculous and silly. And I really like my wrestling different and ridiculous and silly. So I was excited to be a part of it. Again, it's maybe not going to be remembered for the best of reasons. But everyone said, I think that's my best hope of getting an action figure. All right, Daniel, I see your personalization. I'm going to write this now.
Cool.
Thank you for the question.
No worries. And Dan, if you can just PayPal us for that extra one, that'd be fantastic, mate.
All right, Dan, the man, and Wendy, that's for you. The personal message says, "Have a neat autumn." That's for you, Dan. Have a neat autumn. And Wendy too.
I don't think I've heard anyone ever say "have a neat autumn."
Have a neat autumn. That's life
advice. It's not a common UK phrase.
In America, when you do yearbooks in a school, you say "have a neat summer," but it's about to be autumn. So that's
yeah, okay. I love it. Okay, right. Guys, we've got about 15 minutes left. So if you can get your questions in, fantastic. Let me think. Let me just go through there. We've got a couple of more questions, if that's okay. Dan, then we'll finish off with the John Boxer photo.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I think there's two more here. There's Moxley and there's me, and I'm not sure if this is a popular one, but here's me and Hook and Matt Hardy as well.
That's just a separate one.
All right. We got me and Mox. Mox with his big shaved belly here. Look at that. Look at him shaving his belly there.
Oh, no.
For a moment in time.
He missed his chest.
He might, maybe.
He's very clean shaven there, isn't he? I've not realised.
This might have been the first world title match I ever did too. I remember he wrestled. He unexpectedly wrestled Eddie on Dynamite one time in September of 2020, and it wasn't something happened, something changed, and just that night it was that. And Eddie walked with me. I remember Eddie's like, "I'm going to wrestle Mox for the title on Dynamite time. You're going to be the referee." And he walked me into Tony's office. He's like, "I need Bryce to ref this match." Mox said, "All right, game on." So I got to referee an impromptu world title match on Dynamite that night. It was pretty crazy.
Love it.
So this question's from Adam then. So what is Tony Khan like behind the scenes?
Well, remember when I said Maxwell, Jacob Friedman loves wrestling? Tony Khan loves it more. It's wild. His recall, his brains, his passion, his excitement. It's, there is no one else with his wrestling knowledge, his wrestling passion, and his, finances. It is the perfect storm to create a wrestling promotion. No other person in the world could create the wrestling promotion no one has those three things in the way that Tony has them. It's just the perfect storm. And he's only a couple months older than me, so we have a lot of the same references. He's a big, comedy guy, and he loves Larry Sanders Show. I used to watch that. So it's crazy just to be able to out with him too. But his recall, his brain, it's just off the charts, unbelievable. And he's super hands-on. He's the one giving us times during Dynamite. I do his travel as well, so I talk to him almost every day. But he takes really great care of us. I got to been to Fulham matches. I've been to Jaguars games, all thanks to him and his generosity. So I have it's wild how much he loves wrestling.
What was your experience at Craven Cottage then for Fulham?
It was an away match, so I didn't get to go to. They came to the U.S. and I saw them in Philly. They did an excursion, and then I saw them. They played Arsenal at Emirates Stadium. I went a couple weeks ago and saw them.
No way!
Fulham held Arsenal to a 2-2 tie, so it was pretty exciting day to be a Fulham fan because everyone thought that was going to be a total blowout.
Yeah. That was a lot of American language there, Dan. So a blowout is like one-sided. I've got to translate for him.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here, Chris.
For you
what's a tie? A 2-all? It's 2-all is a tie?
A draw.
Yeah, a draw. Okay. They went to full time.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Dan's not a big football fan.
I got a scarf. I got a Come On Fulham scarf upstairs, and the very generous, nice Fulham folks got a jersey for my son. He has a Fulham jersey.
That's cool. Yeah. That is cool. That is wicked. I like that. That's really cool. And it's nice to know that the boss he kind of looks after you guys, takes care of you.
Yeah. Yep.
Totally. There's not many bosses out there.
I had 6 weeks off, leave paid, no questions asked when my son was born in 2020. If you need a week to recharge, mental health break, whatever. Totally, an incredibly generous boss with his time and energy and money and everything. It's wild.
That's awesome.
Very, 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 very lucky.
Absolutely. What a cool guy. Right, guys, we've got about 10 minutes, if that. So we're going to do the Moxley photo, if that's okay.
Let's do it,
Bryce. So the first one is for Simon, and he would like to Simon, top ref, and then your autograph, please.
All right, Simon. I'm not sure if I'm the top ref once again, but I'll write it because I respect you. I'm maybe in the top 300 refs, I would say, but that's okay. There you are, Simon. Thank you, sir.
The next one is for Dan, and he would like to Dan the Man, and then AEW All In 2023.
You got it, baby. I signed in my face a little bit there, but I'm okay with it. There you are, Dan the Man. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your support, Dan the Man.
Next one is for Adam, and he would like to Adam, and then just your autograph.
Adam, there you are. Cheers, mate.
Wicked. Next one is for Chris, and he would just like to Chris, any inscription of your choice, and then your autograph, please.
CHRIS?
Yes.
All right. Another advice is you said whatever I want, so I asked Chris to use his manners.
That's very good.
Chris.
Manners are free, aren't they?
Yeah. See if John Moxley write that on your picture.
I can imagine it'd just be a splatter of blood. Nah, we're a big fan of Moxley over here, are we, Dan?
All right.
Big fan of him. Okay. And the last one is for Dan, and he would like to Dan, any inscription of your choice, and then your autograph, please.
Dan, I'm gonna do that again. I messed up your D. I don't feel good about this one. I'm gonna do another one. Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm gonna get top shelf.
It's all good.
Daniel Smith's asking about the Bryson Hook picture, Chris.
Yeah, we'll put the Hook one up. Again, Dan, you're going to have to PayPal us for the 2 that you ordered during the live, mate, because you only claimed 3. So if you can just PayPal us or transfer that'd be great. We'll just do the last one, which is the Hook and Matt Hardy picture.
You got it, dude.
If that's okay, sir.
Here they are. Game on. That's for Dan the Man.
Yeah, so it'll just be Dan the Man, and then All In, AEW All In 2023, and your autograph.
You got it.
Thank you very much. And that is it for all the pre-sale photos, guys. So we've got a few minutes left. We'll take a couple of questions left.
Dan the Man, cheers, sir.
That's awesome.
Do you want to put the referee shirt up as well, Chris?
Yeah. If anyone's interested, I do have in my collection, I have an extra. This is a As Worn on Dynamite. And back in the old days before we had pay-per-view ref shirts, the logo's a little outdated, so we got new shirts. This is the E is more shiny now, but this is for my personal collection. I would be happy to sell an autograph if someone were to be interested. It is okay if not, but I'd be happy to work that out with y'all if someone was interested in having this. It's a size small. You can wear it between fights between your children, between your dogs, between your neighbors. Frame it. You buy it, it's yours. Do whatever you want with it. But I'm willing to sell, sign it, and ship it wherever it needs to go.
Cool. How much are you wanting for it, Bryce?
I would say I don't. Should I do dollars or pounds?
Whatever's best for you.
I would have said $200 or best offer, but that's that. So okay. I don't know how many. We can, that's not an exact science. We could round up or round down. I don't know what that is. And
it's about 190 quid at the moment in the conversion rate.
There you go. Yeah. So about that, and if seems like Daniel might pinch this, that if that price works for Daniel, we can work that out with y'all, or I can send it to Daniel. You tell me what works best. I can send it to Dan. Yep. No
problem at all. So if you do want that, Dan, then please put in the comment box. So it's $200, which would equivalent to around about 195. Obviously, you'll have to cover shipping and handling on your end, Dan. Okay, so we'll have that sorted.
Yeah, we can work out the details. It's not an exact science. It can be, off by a few bucks. We'll make it work.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries. Can we do Stu as the last question, please?
Yeah.
I tell you what. Can we bring Stu on for that last question?
Yes, of course, can.
Because I know, so Stu is one of the lads from Scotland. He's the referee in England, and he wanted just a moment of your time to ask this question.
Of course. Thanks for doing this, Stu. Good to hear from you.
Just sending in the link.
I can translate.
I feel like I'm on a call-in radio show.
Yeah. Stu has a very thick Scottish accent.
Okay, bring it on. I might need you to translate then.
I'll help translate, but do not insult Iron Bruce. It's his favorite drink in the world.
You got it.
So I'll make this the last question, guys, and then we'll let Bryce get on with his day.
Sure. Hi, Stuart.
Is he there?
Here in 2 minutes. I'm sending the links. So it might be a second.
If you want to bring Daniel in, I'm okay with that too. He bought the shirt here. He's been a real supporter. I'd be happy to say hello to Daniel as well, if that's okay with y'all.
I'm just sorting Dan out now online.
Right, so I'll add Stu on now. So it's ready. Turns up. Let me just pop him in.
I'm going back to some questions we might have missed, Scott. 1PW was wild because I was really young back then. I didn't really understand. I got flown to England when I was 22, which blew my dad's mind. So I know 1PW has a torrid history, but my adventures over there were really, really great, actually.
And Stu, go away. Yeah, go ahead. Not go away, Stu. Sorry, mate. go ahead.
There you go.
How doing?
Good, are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I thought I'd use a different backdrop from usual. I've got the AEW wall.
Oh, that's cool.
But the majority of those are actually signed, Bryce. I got them done at the Chikara Wrestling.
Oh, that's great. Are all the figures signed or?
Well, my MJF, Jungle Boy, Sting, FTR, Britt Baker, my Anna J, and my Evil Uno all are, and the Big Derby is as well.
That's crazy. That's wild. You're a super fan, Stuart. Were you at All In?
I wasn't, but I'm going next year.
I'll see you there, baby.
Too right.
Yeah. Scotland next time, maybe, hopefully.
Well, hopefully. Well, see if he's a referee in Scotland next year. Can I get a job?
Send your resumes to Paul Turner.
Yeah, well, I've got my ref shot and everything, so it's all good.
Oh, look at you. You're all set to go.
Yeah.
God, I tell you what. Who brought him on live? Right. Okay. Stu, what was your question quickly?
Well, Bryce, what is it, apart from, obviously, your passion to do with the business, what is your passions outside the business?
I know baseball's not big in the UK, but I love going to minor league baseball games with my kids. It's really it feels like independent wrestling to me. It's just like smaller dudes trying to make it that all have the same passion and they're working towards a goal. And I have a lot of time for that minor league baseball. And I like to travel for pleasure. I travel for work, which is great. Traveling is my job as a travel manager, but I like to go places I've never been, whether it be for wrestling or not for wrestling, and that would include. I've been in Glasgow for 8 hours once, so I've heard of Chicago. I'd love to go back. Never been to Ireland. Never been to Belgium. All kinds of wonderful places I'd love to visit. But no, that's great. I find I don't have as much downtime as I used to, but I try to be aligned and go to spend as much time with my kids as I can on the weekends, to be honest. But thank you, Stu. I appreciate the question, man.
No
Appreciate all
worries.
you do. We need more super fans like you.
It is definitely that.
Just
Cool.
one little thing before we go. Just one thing I really did want to ask. I mean, I've done, as I said, I'm relatively new to the business. I've done 3 shows at Jim Crowd Pine Girders in Glasgow. You might know my boss,
Who's your boss?
Wolfgang.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, I think I've been on shows with him. I'm pretty sure over there in the past.
He's my boss, and he's like giving me the chance to do this. I keep on asking like him and a few other guys, but I thought you'd be the best person to ask. What's the best way to get rid of nerves? Because see, before I go through the curtain before a match, I'm not going to lie, I'm still getting a bit nervous. What would be the best way to get rid of those nerves as a brand new referee?
Repetition. Just do it over and over and over. The more you do it, the more normal it'll feel, the more natural it will feel, and the less nervous you'll get. Just keep going. Do it. Ref as many matches you can, wherever you can, whenever you can. Just get the numbers going. The repetition will help. You will not feel as nervous later. I promise.
Superb.
Awesome. Thanks,
for the
Stu.
advice.
Cheers for that.
Cheers, Stu.
See you later. See you later. You take it easy.
See you, mate. Awesome. Thanks for that, Bryce. Right, then, guys, we have come to the end of our live with AEW referee Bryce Remsburg. Again, thank you so much for being involved in the live. I know it's a bit of an early start.
No, it's great. This is wonderful. Well, wonderful. This is lovely. I really appreciate everyone's support. This is, I'm touched that these many people care to talk to me. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, everyone loves you over here in the UK. So you've got friends for life over here.
I'll see you next time. Maybe I can squeeze in a seminar over there next year.
Hey, absolutely. Next time you're over, we'll go for a drink as well.
Cheers.
But thank you very much, guys, and thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you on Thursday night. Stay tuned because in about 10 minutes we're going to go live with the podcast. So we'll see you all in about 10 minutes.